Hello, I'm Gwen Edwards, and welcome to another edition of Our Lives, a gift to teachers and children. That is how a new learning initiative at Caesar Battalis School in Bridgeport is being described. We're going to learn all about it from my first two guests. Dr. Susan Snyder is an educator, and she's an author, and she is a director of the Total Learning Institute. She also directs the Bridgeport Total Learning Digital Initiative. And Candace King-Sadler is a first grade teacher at Caesar Battalis School in Bridgeport. She's also the winner of the 2012 Beard Excellence in Education Award. Welcome to you both.
Thank you.
All right, now, Dr. Snyder, what is Total Learning Digital Initiative?
Well, let's start with Total Learning. Total Learning is a school change model that's based on what Head Start is for children who live in poverty. It surrounds the child with all of the supports that they need in order to reduce the achievement gap. For 6 years, and this is the 7th year, we have been in Bridgeport state funded to develop this approach. And we have research that informs us as we do it. And we've had a lot of success over 6 years, but it's very expensive to have a trainer go into the classroom. So Total Learning Digital is digitizing the professional development for the teacher so that it becomes less expensive, but we're also finding that it's very, very rich and engages the teacher and the children in ways that we never expected.
And Mrs. King-Sadler, how have your students been responding to the initiative?
Well, my students love the Total Learning Initiative. They're always...
And while you're talking, we have a few pictures, so we're going to just keep talking.
Okay. They're always actively engaged. They're having fun. They're learning. I'm able to integrate all of my math, science, social studies, and reading curriculum using the Total Learning strategies, and it's developmentally appropriate practice. So they're having a lot of success with the program.
How is Total Learning Digital different?
It's different than how instruction is delivered in general, because we are multimodal, multisensory, hands-on, brains-on, patterning the brain for learning. So the children are actively engaged, and we teach the teachers how to do that. Digital is different because we're not giving the children iPads, we're not having the children sit at computers, even though they need to do that for part of their day. The teachers are learning digitally, so we provide them with tutorials, we provide them with their lesson plans, we provide them with online learning and support from us, all digitally, so the teachers start to get comfortable with digital media and with delivering instruction in a digital way.
Does it work for all teachers?
It works for most teachers. So there are teachers who embrace it right away, and especially young teachers embrace it right away because they're digital natives. Teachers who are not digital natives, if they're good teachers, start to embrace it because it's very engaging and it's still good instruction. It's the way that they should deliver instruction to children. And the kids love it, so then the teachers love it, so then everybody comes to school more. It's just a real cycle. There are some teachers who really are not terribly effective teachers, and they won't be effective teachers with this too.
Now, how has it been embraced at Caesar Battalis School?
Well, I have to tell you that it is one of the best initiatives we've ever seen because it provides so much support for us. What generally happens is we get a professional development. It's about an hour to 3 hours long. We may be given materials, we may not, and then we are sent on our way to use whatever strategy or information they've given us, independent, generally without any support. What Total Learning does for us is it continues to provide us with support, with professional development, with opportunities to share with other teachers, and just support. We all need support from day to day, from year to year, depending on your class dynamics, and you just need it, you know. And what Total Learning, my favorite part about it is that you're never alone. You have support from Dr. Sue, you have support from other staff members, you have support from other Total Learning teachers to help you to use the materials and the strategies and help the children.
Well, we want to thank you both for coming. Dr. Sue, what a wonderful program.
Thank you. We're very proud of it, and we hope that eventually we'll be able to share it with as many teachers as possible because it's right for kids.
All right, well, thank you both.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And stay with us here on Our Lives. Up next, an exclusive interview with the new head of Neon. You want to stick around for this. And welcome back. It's been a busy and rough year for NEON, the Norwalk Economic Opportunity Now organization. And my next guest says he is determined to get this community service provider back on the right track. The Rev Tommy Jackson is the interim CEO and president of NEON. Rev Jackson is also the pastor of the Faith Tabernacle Missionary Baptist Church in Stanford. Welcome to you, Reverend Jackson.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Edwardson. Thank you for having us today.
Now, I'm quite sure a lot of people said to you, Reverend Jackson, I don't envy you for taking over NEON when you first came on board.
That was one of the positive things that was said, that they do not envy me. No one envied this opportunity, but more importantly, are you crazy to accept this challenge and move forward? But I've had history in my background of dealing with troubled agencies and troubled concerns in municipal government, and haven't had the benefit of turning those things around. So when the board asked me and certain community advisors and interests asked, would I take the opportunity to try to turn it around? It was a challenge for me, and I feel up to the task to do so.
Now, let's talk about the reorganization and revitalization of NEON that's currently underway.
Well, first, the record needs to show that the infrastructure at NEON, when I was asked to come in, was fairly weak. The organization lacked many internal controls and procedures for financial well-being and balancing checks and balances. So those things have to be put in place, and we're working on putting those things in place at this time, in addition to building the infrastructure with regard to the staff. Broken organizations often lead to broken people, and the staff in many ways was demoralized, hurting, and just suffering under a maze of adverse publicity.
And a lot of people have to have their trust restored in NEON.
No doubt. The organization is an organization where trust was lost, community commitment was lost, and it was not something that just occurred in the past 60, 90, 120 days. This is something that's occurred over time period, and it's something that's going to require time to get back in place. My job, my goal is simply to try to build the framework for having a strong organization, strengthening the organization so that it can provide those vital services to people who depend upon community action agencies within the next 6 to 12 months. That's my assignment. Beyond that, I have no assignment as I see it at this time with NEON.
And where does NEON go from here?
Well, the truth of the matter is I think, and we're meeting later this month with various concerned and affected interests, including the offices of the mayor of Norwalk, the office of the mayor of Stanford, the governor's office of the state of Connecticut, elected officials, and various stakeholders to talk about where do we go at this time. Should NEON continue as NEON? Does it need to be rebranded? Does it need to be repositioned? And I think that is the way that it's going to go. I'm not sure, but my advice, my recommendation, my suggestion to it is that sometimes it's best to not try to revive something, let it go ahead and die, and then rebrand something, reposition it, put another footprint in place, and people can say, oh wow, look what you're doing, and move forward from there.
And there are a lot of vital services and a lot of people in need who depend on those services that are provided by the NEON organization.
No doubt. For an example, the Energy Assistance Program is something that not many other providers in the community do. One of the distinctions that NEON CT might have had, as opposed to, let's say, the Urban League. The Urban League has a great program in housing and housing assistance for foreclosure, getting people back on the right track, financial well-being. NEON work with people in some of those areas, but not to the extent that the Urban League would do it. Person to Person in Darien's outstanding human services agency that does a lot of good stuff with families. And NEON did some of those things, but NEON focused, if you will, in particular on single room occupancy, helping persons who might have been incarcerated or had been engaged in criminal activities get back on their feet through AIC. So it did a lot of good things and still is doing a lot of good things. After school programs, the Head Start program, the Child Readiness program. Although for the record, it should be noted that NEON is not doing Head Start programs at this time, but it is working with a private provider brought in by the Federal Department of Health and Human Services to get the program back on track. and those programs are offered through the Nathaniel Ely and Benjamin Franklin School. Neon has been able to, at the beginning of November, get back to school readiness programs and reopen it, and we're happy about those things taking place.
And one of the things that we heard a lot of during the height of the trouble was the plight of the workers, salaries, checks, and I know that was one of your missions, was to come in immediately and work to make sure these people who work for Neon were compensated for their time.
And we've been able to do so. As of this recording, or by the time your viewers see the show, we would have paid people 4 weeks worth of back pay, which they were probably 6 or 7 weeks behind. And so we're being able to bring that up to stuff. My goal initially was to have people made whole by Christmas, but we were fortunate that we were able to start doing it the week before Thanksgiving. And we were paying people not bi-weekly, but now paying them on a weekly basis to bring them up to snuff. And our next goal is to satisfy the federal government, satisfy the state government, and other entities such as insurance companies who had monies withheld and they were not paid to them by the agency. So that you can make employees whole with regard to union dues, union benefits, healthcare insurance. And we've had good help from our locally elected officials in Norwalk, specifically Representative Bruce Morris and Senator Bob Duff, where we've been able to go to the community health center and say, look, these employees lost their health insurance. They don't have anything at all. And they've been able to say, we'll provide health care to them on an as-needed basis and a sliding scale, which has been tremendous. Health insurance, as most of us know, regardless of Obamacare, is still expensive.
Well, we want to thank you so much for coming and your leadership within the community and taking on such a great task.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Edwards, and congratulations to you for all that you do in the community and for being recognized as one of the 100 outstanding individuals in the state of Connecticut by the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People.
Thank you. Alrighty, and when our lives continue, some simple and fun fitness tips that you can use during the holidays. We'll see you right here after the break. And we're happy to see you for this edition of Our Lives and every edition of Our Lives. We appreciate you watching. I'm Gwen Edwards. And all the holiday rush, it's really easy for some things to kind of fall by the wayside and slip through the cracks, like your diet and your exercise routine. Shanna Snyder is a certified group fitness instructor. She's also the founder of Fit Week, and she's here now to help us with some exercises that we can do while we're doing all the other things during the holiday season.
That's right. We have so many things to do, busy schedules, but it's extremely important that we maintain fitness throughout our everyday lives. And there are ways that we can enjoy the holidays and those activities while still getting in some fitness.
And you have a bunch of examples here.
Exactly, some props to show us what we can do when we're doing these different activities. So number one, the greeting cards. So we probably send them out, the Christmas card or holiday card, and if you're like me, you might not get it out till a New Year's card. But what you can do is actually keep those that are being mailed within 1 to 2 mile radius of your house and make a little walking route and actually drop them off. So you'll save a few stamps and also get in some fitness walking around your neighborhood.
That's great.
Yeah. Another one is everybody's got their cell phone.
And they're on
right? Exactly. And the holidays are a great time to catch up with family and friends. And a lot of times we'll plop down on the couch and just sitting there. Well, instead of doing that, just get up and walk around. Whether it's in your house or outside, it's just important that you are standing up, because a lot of studies are now showing that excessive sitting is really not good for you. So just standing, doing something like that can have major benefits for you.
So even at work, you should take that break if you're sitting in front of the computer all day.
Yes, that's right. As you're sitting, your body's kind of shutting down, saying, you don't really need me working. And so it stops really breaking down those sugars and fats that are important to keep us healthy. So another thing for the holidays, a lot of us are shopping, right? So I love to do online shopping, but an example would be, instead of sitting down with your laptop, why not move it to a countertop in your kitchen or something like that? That's in a place where you can actually stand up to do your shopping. The other thing is if you're hitting the mall, instead of taking those stairs, or instead of taking the escalator, definitely take those stairs. And you don't have to be too upset about, finding that parking spot further away, because then you'll have a few extra steps to add in.
Excellent.
Exactly. And the more shopping you do, the more carrying of the bags, and you can actually do a few bicep curls
So,
with those.
up and down.
That's right. So the more shopping, the more fitness you can get in.
Retailers love you.
Well, it's right for the holidays. And now, moving to more things you can do at home. Now, do you have a favorite holiday movie that you like to watch? Do you have one?
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
I like A Christmas Carol.
Okay, Christmas Carol, great. And that's definitely on TV. We have all of these movie marathons going on,
Right.
and you sit and you love watching them. Well, instead of just sitting watching those, add in a little fitness while you're watching it. So an example would be every time your favorite character comes on, you're going to stand up. That could be a baseline. You could even do jumping jacks every time you see a Santa hat on one of the characters. When there's snow, you could do a few sit-ups and that kind of thing. But you always want to make sure you're doing some kind of exercise where you can keep your eyes on the TV and see all the action, I would say.
Now, you have a couple kitchen utensils. I'm curious about
Yes,
those.
because of course we have baking. I know I do a lot of baking during the holidays.
Why does everything look and taste so
I
good?
know, well,
during the holidays.
and you love that. And so I was, thinking about ways, how can we bake our cookies and eat them too, right? And so what I like to call it is my 15-minute bake. And I might do, you could start with high knees, just a walking in place to warm up, and then you can add in plies, something right there. I always think of kind of the Nutcracker and being a ballerina during the holidays.
All holiday things.
Exactly.
Well, we're out of time, but we thank
Okay.
you so much. What a great number of fitness tips that we
Thanks.
can incorporate into the busy holiday schedule and get the family involved.
Exactly, and people can get more tips at fitweek.com or checking out the YouTube channel at FitWeek.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much.
All righty, and a big national neo-soul concert tour is about to debut in our area this month. Our Lives is the only place you'll see this story, so you stay with us. A nationwide neo-soul music tour is kicking off right here in Connecticut. The Triple West Victorious Tour 2013-2014 will debut on Saturday, December 21st at the Norwalk Concert Hall at City Hall. There will be 4 opening acts of neo-soul artists, including Raheem DeVaughn and Glenn Lewis. Also taking the stage will be Robbie Jenkins and Tiffany Tizell and Benjamin Ryder. 2 of those opening acts are joining me right now. Robbie Jenkins of Stanford is no stranger to our lives. He's a singer and a songwriter. He's performed on Our Lives more than on one occasion. And Tiffany Tizell is one of the opening acts. She's from Norwalk and she'll be joining the tour as well. Welcome to you.
Thank you.
Now
Thank you for
this
having us.
sounds really exciting.
Thank you, thank you. We're looking forward to this. I just came on board recently, and it was kind of a movement that was already starting, and I'm just very excited to be a part of it.
So who is producing the tour?
The producer's name is Carvin Hagens, a multi-platinum producer. He's worked with everyone from Justin Timberlake to Mary J. Blige. He's worked with a lot of people, and he's producing this event.
And the producer is hoping that this tour will be a springboard for a lot of local talent.
Yes, yes. That's the intent. There'll be some interchanging in terms of the bill and who's going to be on, who will join on certain dates, depending on where this, the tour takes us.
And Tiffany, why did you decide to become a part of it?
I mean, why wouldn't I? I mean, it's such an awesome experience and opportunity to be a part of a bill like this, to be exposed in a way that, especially with artists that I enjoy, such as Raheem DeVaughn and Glenn Lewis. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking forward to the new artists as well, the females that's going to be on the bill. And just to be a part of it is just an awesome opportunity.
And one of the ultimate objectives is to kind of unify the Connecticut music industry
Yes.
and the different genres.
Right. For years, there's been some attempts to do that, but relatively unsuccessful. People have gotten so used to being kind of separated and just territorial and regional, that they don't really see the value of working together, and how some other states have really come up, and really matched the level of well, I won't say competition, but the level of where California, maybe New York would be the epicenters of music. So now we've seen some others that have come up, and we have the potential to do that too. There's a lot of talent here in Connecticut. And like you said, in all genres of music, rap, R&B, jazz, it's very vast.
And the gentleman who was producing this has worked with some big name artists, so there may be an opportunity for some of the local talent to really see their career just go to the next level.
Right. Some of those artists are expected to join the tour too. So here, the show is going to include Raheem DeVaughn and Glenn Lewis, but on another date it could be someone else. I won't name them because I don't know if they committed on paper yet, so I don't want to put them out there. But that's the intent. That's what they're looking to do.
Now, once again, tell us when the concert is and where it is.
The concert is Saturday, December 21st, 2013. The doors open at 8 p.m. at the Norwalk City Concert Hall, 125 East Avenue in Norwalk, Connecticut.
And how do we get tickets?
You can get tickets by calling 860-294-9861, or you can go online and go to www.forevermusicinc.com.
Well, we are looking forward to this. This is a
Thank you.
wonderful time to have it right during the holidays,
Absolutely.
when people are looking to do something special.
Yes.
All right, well, thank you both.
Thank you
for having
Good
us.
luck
Thank you
with
for having us.
becoming a part of the tour.
Yeah,
Thank
hopefully
you.
you'll come
Thank
out to
you
the
so
show.
much.
I'll get you some tickets.
Thank you so much.
I thank you.
We want to thank you for watching, and make sure that you like me on Facebook and that you follow me on Twitter for updates on the Our Live Show.
Thanks for making our lives a part of your life. We will see you next time.